The cameras flashed. The crowd froze. And just like that, Hollywood and the world had a new obsession. A $32 million spectacle wrapped in centuries of tradition, locked away in the royal vault, well, until now.
Right.
Welcome to Starscope Report.
Yeah, welcome.
Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And you know, that $32 million spectacle is exactly where we are starting today.
It is, because 8 years after one of the most guarded, heavily orchestrated events in modern history, the vault was just unexpectedly opened on Instagram.
Unbelievable, really.
We are going to explore the headline story that is dominating literally every timeline right now. The Meghan Markle wedding photos the palace never expected to resurface.
Yeah, and to really get to the bottom of how and why this happened, we are pulling from a really diverse stack of sources for this deep dive.
We've got a lot to cover today.
We really do. We'll be looking at on-the-ground reporting from LA, Canada and the Daily Express. We've got broadcast footage from Sunrise and Newsflare, historical context from Wikipedia.
Oh, and that news study, right?
Exactly. To explain the deeper mechanics at play, we have a fascinating 2024 academic thesis from the University of Memphis.
Nice.
So our mission is to connect the dots between this massive 8th anniversary photo drop, the fierce public backlash that instantly followed, and, well, the complex media machine that dictates how you actually consume this narrative.
Right. So let's start with the drop itself. May 19, 2026. Marking their 8th anniversary, Meghan Markle dropped 24 never-before-seen photos across 2 carousel posts on her Instagram.
24 photos. That is not a small drop.
No, it's a statement. But before we look at what she posted, put yourself back in the mindset of the original 2018 event. Picture the sheer scale of it, you know. 18 million viewers tuned in across the UK alone. It was a global standstill.
It was the literal definition of institutional soft power. I mean, you had the daytime ceremony at St. George's Chapel. You had Meghan stepping out in that stunning dress by Claire Waite-Keller for Givenchy.
God, that dress was gorgeous.
Right. And think about the symbolism woven into that outfit. The 16-foot silk veil was embroidered with 53 flowers representing the Commonwealth nations.
Wow.
Plus a single California poppy.
Which is such a flex, bringing a literal piece of California right into the heart of Windsor.
Yeah.
And topping it off with the Queen Mary Diamond Bandeau tiara, lent directly from Queen Elizabeth's vault.
Yeah, it was peak fairy tale.
How?
But it was heavily, heavily guarded. The official portraits we saw back then were stiff, formal, and approved by this massive PR apparatus.
Exactly. But the photos released for this 8th anniversary by photographer Chris Allerton, they completely shatter that formality. They are incredibly intimate behind-the-scenes moments from their evening party at Frogmore House.
The visual texture of these new images is entirely different. You see Harry gleefully spinning Meghan on the dance floor.
I love that one.
You see passionate, candid kisses. You even see Elton John sitting at the piano entertaining the guests in the background. It is raw, joyful, and intensely private.
And the sources show the present-day celebration was just as intimate. According to footage from Newsflare and Sunrise, Harry surprised Meghan with a recreated version of their original wedding cake.
Oh, the famous lemon elderflower cake.
Yes, layered with white icing and a pale pink rose, crafted by London baker Claire Pantak. He also gifted her a bronze penguin sculpture, since bronze is the traditional 8-year anniversary gift.
That's actually really sweet. There's also a background video included in the drop where you can hear their children, 7-year-old Archie and 4-year-old Lilibet, singing and cheering.
So cute.
Yeah, and Meghan is heard explaining to them that she and Harry actually wore matching penguin onesies at their engagement party because penguins mate for life.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Right. It actively paints a picture of a secluded, deeply connected family life in Montecito.
But, you know, stepping back from the romance of it all, the timing and the medium raise a massive question.
Definitely.
If the original reception at Frogmore House was wrapped in absolute secrecy with a strict no-photo policy, why bypass the traditional media entirely and release 24 highly intimate shots now, 8 years later, on a personal social media account?
Right. Why now?
It feels less like simple nostalgia and more like a calculated reclamation of their own narrative.
Reclaiming the narrative is the exact mechanism at play here. When you bypass a centuries-old media machine, that machine doesn't just quietly accept it. It fights back.
And boy, did it fight back. These photos seem like a harmless celebration of love, right? But wait till you hear the absolute firestorm they triggered overnight. If you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
Yeah, almost immediately after the photos went live, the backlash began. And look, before we get into this, we need to explicitly state that our goal today isn't to play judge and jury on who is right or wrong here.
Exactly. We are not taking sides.
Right. We are strictly looking at the data and the reactions presented in our sources to understand how the media ecosystem operates. We're just impartially reporting what was said.
So what was said? Let's hear it.
Well, according to the Daily Express US, veteran royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams publicly slammed the photo of the couple spinning and kissing on the dance floor. He actually demanded it be redacted.
Redacted? Wow.
Yes. He explicitly stated that they looked like, quote, a couple of drunks.
Yikes. He didn't hold back.
He didn't stop there either. He added, quote, perhaps it's a metaphor for what she has done to his relations with his family.
Ouch. Again, we are just the messengers neutrally reporting this critique, but it perfectly illustrates the sheer level of vitriol a few dance floor photos can unlock.
Absolutely. And the criticism wasn't just about the aesthetics of the photos, it was about the optics of the release itself. Former BBC royal correspondent Jenny Bond highlighted a pretty glaring irony in the timing.
Oh, this part is fascinating.
Right. Just hours before Meghan flooded Instagram with 24 private photos and videos that feature the voices of her young children, she was in Switzerland delivering a powerful, highly publicized speech on the dangers of online spaces for children.
The juxtaposition is wild.
Yeah.
Imagine you are standing on a global stage warning about the perils of the internet for kids, and then you immediately use your kids' voices as audio dressing for a massive viral Instagram post.
It really highlights this intense conflict between wanting absolute privacy and needing to feed the content machine.
Exactly.
Jenny Bond points out another fascinating detail regarding the optics. Out of those 24 photos, only one single member of the royal family is visible.
Just one.
Just one. It's King Charles, and his back is to the camera.
Oh, wow.
Bond suggests this omission might be out of respect for his privacy, but she also notes that Meghan is effectively playing the modern influencer game. She is taking absolute control of her brand, which aligns perfectly with her recent business ventures, like her American Riviera Orchard and As Ever brands.
Imagine you are trying to balance those two worlds. On one side, you have the traditional, tight-lipped royal protocol, where the motto is, never complain, never explain, and you certainly never post candid dance floor makeout sessions.
Definitely not.
On the other side, you have the modern post-it-all influencer culture, where authenticity and sharing your private life is the actual currency. You can't monetize accessibility while claiming aristocratic distance without the media calling a foul.
You are watching the collision of two completely incompatible economic models. The prestige of the aristocracy relies on scarcity and distance. The success of a lifestyle influencer relies on constant, relatable accessibility.
She's basically attempting to merge them.
She is. But this backlash isn't just a random Twitter spat or a few grumpy commentators. Later in the deep dive, we'll uncover the academic study that proves exactly why the media was fundamentally primed to react this way.
And the shocking twist nobody saw coming. Because to really understand why a photo of a lemon elderflower cake makes international headlines, we have to look at the machinery behind the headlines. You don't get this kind of coordinated outrage by accident.
No, you get it by breaking an invisible contract. To understand the mechanism here, we rely on that rigorous 2024 academic thesis from the University of Memphis by Ashley Craig.
Right.
Craig analyzed over 300 articles to see exactly how the US and the UK press framed Meghan Markle. But before looking at the frames, we have to look at the system those journalists work within. The Royal Rota.
Ah, the Royal Rota. It isn't just a press pool, right?
Yeah.
It operates almost like a high-stakes corporate non-disclosure agreement combined with a media cartel.
That's pretty accurate. The royal family provides this exclusive group of British papers with privileged access to major life events, weddings, births, official tours.
In exchange for what exactly?
Well, in exchange for that access, which allows those papers to sell millions of copies, the royal family expects favorable, unified coverage that upholds the dignity of the institution. It is a transactional relationship based on mutual survival.
So if you are a journalist inside the Rota, your entire livelihood depends on maintaining that access.
Exactly. So when Harry and Meghan stepped back as senior royals during the Megxit era, they didn't just move to California. They explicitly stated on their website that they would no longer participate in the royal rota system.
Wow, they just cut them off.
Yep. They announced they were going to engage with grassroots media and objective journalists instead.
Imagine you were a British tabloid editor. The subjects of your reporting, who drive massive revenue for your paper, just cut you out of the supply chain entirely to post directly to Instagram.
You wouldn't just be annoyed, your professional existence would be threatened. And the data from Ashley Craig's thesis shows exactly how the media retaliated through their framing.
So, impartially speaking, what did the data show?
Well, UK outlets, like the Daily Mail, were highly deferential to the royal family as an institution, but largely non-deferential to Meghan. They consistently framed her as a, quote, threat to British tradition and identity, focusing heavily on institutional conflict with terms like war with the palace.
If the UK press felt professionally threatened and attacked her, I imagine the US press, who obviously don't have a monarchy to protect, saw this entirely differently.
The contrast in the data is just stark. US outlets like the LA Times and People magazine treated Meghan almost exclusively through the lens of celebrity and career.
Because America lacks a monarchy.
Right. So American journalists don't have the cultural reflex for deference to the crown, nor do they rely on the royal rota for survival. They deferred to Meghan as an American celebrity, highlighting her activism and her self-made status.
It is genuinely fascinating how the exact same person can be viewed as an existential threat to national identity in one country and just a glamorous, philanthropic celebrity in another.
It really is.
But if you rewind the clock back to the details of the 2018 wedding, from our Wikipedia sources, you can see that culture clash wasn't just a media invention. It was happening in the room from day one.
The wedding itself was a physical manifestation of this friction. Consider what happens when you introduce vibrant African-American culture into a space defined by centuries of stoic British tradition.
Right. I mean, you had a gospel choir singing Stand By Me, echoing through the Gothic arches of St. George's Chapel.
Which was beautiful, but so different for them.
Yeah, and you had American Bishop Michael Curry delivering a passionate 14-minute sermon quoting Martin Luther King Jr., which was a massive departure from the typically brief, subdued Anglican sermons the royals are used to.
Very true.
And at the Frogmore reception, you had actor Idris Elba stepping in to DJ, playing Dr. Dre's Still D.R.E., at Meghan's specific request.
I still love that detail, but it was culturally unprecedented for the institution. And behind the scenes, that friction was already sparking into outright conflict. The sources detail the intense pressure cooker leading up to the event.
Oh, the drama over the dress and the tiara is legendary at this point. There was the highly publicized tension with Angela Kelly, the Queen's senior dresser, over the tiara fitting.
Right. Prince Harry even wrote in his memoir about how obstructive that process felt, with the palace pushing back on Meghan simply practicing with the real tiara before the wedding day.
And then there's the sheer panic with the tailor, Ajay Mirpuri. He and his team had to completely remake the bridesmaids' dresses, including Princess Charlotte's, working until 4 in the morning just days before the wedding, because the original fittings were supposedly a disaster.
Just a total nightmare. So when you take all that historical context, the deep cultural collision of the wedding itself, the active disruption of the royal rota, the behind-the-scenes institutional friction, and apply it to the release of these new anniversary photos, the hostile reaction makes total sense.
It's a defense mechanism.
Exactly. The resurface photos weren't just pictures of a lemon elderflower cake to these journalists. To the U.S. press, they were premium, exclusive celebrity content, a peek behind the curtain.
But to the UK press, trained by the rota and fiercely protective of their access, these photos were an unauthorized narrative. They were a reminder that the couple successfully bypassed the machine.
The Memphis thesis points out a crucial linguistic tactic here. Every time a UK media outlet mentions her American nationality or her career as an actress, they are subtly confirming she is an outsider.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the frames are designed to create an us versus them mentality to protect the British institution. Releasing photos of a highly guarded royal event on an American tech platform, bypassing the British press entirely, is viewed precisely through that established lens of defiance.
It's like she is flatly refusing to play the character they wrote for her.
And speaking of narrative, stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss how we wrap up this massive pop culture collision, because there's one final detail that flips this whole story on its head.
Yeah, there is one final fact from our sources that completely recontextualizes this entire debate over the official wedding photos and who controls them.
This part blew my mind. Right. Despite the $32 million spectacle, the 18 million viewers, the gospel choir, the 16-foot veil, and the fierce media war over who gets to publish these official photos.
Wait for it.
Meghan revealed in her famous interview with Oprah that the massive global event wasn't even their real wedding.
It's crazy. 3 days before that heavily orchestrated public ceremony, Meghan and Harry actually exchanged personal vows in their own backyard.
Just the two of them and the Archbishop of Canterbury? There were no cameras, there was no royal rota, and there was no media framing.
It really leaves you wondering, in a world where every single photo is picked apart, analyzed by academics, fiercely defended by influencers, and viciously attacked by royal experts, who really owns a memory?
That's the real question.
Is it the institution that paid for this spectacle? Is it the media that demands access to it? Or is it just the couple, sitting at home in their penguin onesies, quietly eating lemon elderflower cake?
I guess we'll never really know.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.